Welcome to Double Take Dave, episode 3. Let's get this party started.
It's Double Take Dave. It's Double Take Dave. It's Double Take Dave. Dave's Dive In.
So the NBA playoffs start tomorrow. Can't believe it's finally here. Can't wait. So I'm going to talk about the matchups and kind of who I think's going to win for the first round. In the East, you got the number 1 Milwaukee Bucks against the number 8 Orlando Magic. That's pretty easy. I love the Bucks, and I like them to sweep them. It's going to be too much. They have no answer for Greek Freak. The role players are way better than the Magic. So it's just going to be one of those 1-8 seeds that just Magic don't even have a chance, even though they're playing in Orlando. So they need to just pack their bags now and go eat Mickey Mouse waffles because you're not going to win. Next, the Raptors versus the Nets. The second seed Raptors versus the 7 Nets. I like the Raptors at 5. The reason I don't like the sweep is I think Brooklyn fights and they play really hard. And you can tell without Kyrie, they play better. It's the Kyrie effect. He just, everywhere he leaves, the team plays better. So I like the Raptors in 5. Next, you got Boston versus Philly. And Boston's the 3rd seed and Philly's the 6th seed. And there's no Ben Simmons. He's out for the year. And Embiid's been kind of on and off, not consistent. So I like Boston in 6. I need to see a little bit more from Boston. And I think Philly will put up a fight. And they don't really have an answer for Embiid. So I think Philly will win too. But Boston in 6. Next, probably one of my favorite series to look forward to is the Pacers, number 4 Pacers versus the number 5 Heat. And Ty Warren and Jimmy Butler. Get your popcorn ready, baby, because those two go at it. But Butler has that like Mamba mentality kind of type of mindset, and I like the Heat in 7. I think it's going to go back and forth, and it's definitely going to be a game 7, and it's going to be very tight. But I think the Heat have a better team and will come out with the series. Next, for the West, we've got the number 1 Lakers and the number 8 Portland Trailblazers. And remember what I said last week about guaranteed the Lakers win. Well, here we go. I said the Blazers would make it, and I said Lakers would beat Blazers. So let's see if I'm right, or I won't have a show. That's how bold it was. I was that confident. It's great what Dame's doing. I'm gonna give him praise later. It's amazing how they made the playoffs and everything. And yes, the Lakers haven't been playing well lately. But like I said, when it comes playoff time, they'll be ready. The Blazers defense is still very, very bad. I am worried about the Lakers not having Avery and Rondo because they'll have a hard time covering Lillard and McCollum. But I think overall LeBron and AD will take over and it'll be enough to win in 6. Next, you got the number 2 Clippers against the number 7 Dallas Mavericks. I think that's going to be one of the most fun series, but Dallas just doesn't have a chance. They don't play defense, and Clippers just have way too much depth. So I like the Clippers in 5. Next, you got my Denver Nuggets, number 3, against the Utah Jazz. I was going to say Nuggets in 6, but I just found out that Mike Conley is expecting a baby, so he's going to leave the bubble and probably can't come back to at least game 3 or 4. So I think that changes everything because they already don't have Bogdanovic, so not having that leader point. And we're not really sure on Gary and Barton yet, but we have a really deep team, so I think we'll win in 5 now because of Mike Conley out. And then my other favorite series in the West is number 4 Rockets versus number 5 OKC. That's my upset, OKC in 7. I do think Westbrook missing a little bit of the playoffs will definitely, affect that. But I did think OKC has the guards to defend their 3, and a veteran Chris Paul will get the job done. So that's it for the first round. Can't wait for the second round, and then I'll tell you my picks for that. But the NBA, it's going to be fun. Obviously, it's not your normal playoffs, but these teams are hungry, and can't wait to get it started tomorrow.
Dave's Corner.
My next guest is Aaron Steinberg. I knew him since I was very little. He's my brother's friend. We used to hoop a lot together in Denver. We had that pick and roll like Tim Duncan and Tony Parker. It was so nice. Hope you remember those memories, Aaron. But he's been in LA working with Bob Menery with a podcast called the Zap Podcast. I recommend everybody check it out. It's great. It's comedy. It's sports. It's everything to be entertained. How you doing, Aaron?
Double Take Dave, baby.
Hey,
thanks for having me, bro.
Of course. So how's everything going with Bob and the podcast?
Dude, I mean, really quickly, I missed the pick and roll days, dude. I mean, nothing's better than having your brother turn around and look lost on the court. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I had to dominate Steve on the post. He still thinks he could beat me, but he can't.
I know you did. Yeah, he's delusional. But dude, everything's going well. We have the Zapped podcast right now. It's me, Bob, and then our producer Scott. We've been pretty heavy with athletes recently on the pod. Just guess. We've been pretty NBA heavy. We had Matt Barnes on recently.
Yeah,
Alex
saw that.
Caruso stopped by before he went to the bubble.
That's so awesome.
So yeah, man. I mean, it's going really well. We're trying to get more into the NFL. With the season coming up, so we're trying to get some NFL players on, and we have some lined up. So, dude, it's been great.
Yeah, I saw you had Drew Lock on it. That was awesome. So what?
Did you watch that one?
No, didn't you have Drew Lock on a podcast? On one of yours?
Yeah, we did Drew. That was my favorite one, honestly, dude, because that was one that kind of hit home because I'm a Broncos fan,
of course.
And then talking to Drew, that was one where I was like, Bob, I'm gonna kind of go question heavy because I'm a fan. I want to see if this guy's actually legit or not. And he proved himself to be like this. He's super confident.
Yeah.
One of the questions I asked him was, did you go in there like, hey, I'm gonna let Joe Flacco kind of do his thing, and when it's my time to step up, I will? And he was like, I went in there to compete for the job. Like, I don't care if it's Joe Flacco or whoever it is.
Yeah.
I want to start. So that mentality sold it for me.
Yeah, he has that presence for sure. What was one of the coolest moments that came with working with Bob?
Honestly, there's been a lot. I could tell you there was a time in Miami for the Super Bowl where I went with Bob to Fanatics throws a party, which they do all the jerseys.
Yeah.
Michael Rubin's company.
Uh-huh.
And, Bob doesn't really think anything's a big deal. And we walk into this party and I'm just like, what's going on? And he walks up to Saquon and Odell and David Beckham. And we were just kind of hanging out with them. And I was pretty starstruck and I didn't feel like I should be there. I was like, these guys are way too cool for me. So that was definitely like a, wow moment.
A wake-up call, like, oh, I'm actually here. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, dude, am I in the right place?
Did you ever meet someone that had an impact on you during the show?
Yeah, dude, definitely. Someone that we've interviewed before that, I think had JJ Watt, I think got kind of like when they did Hard Knocks, right? He kind of had that reputation of like a total hardo, camera guy. But dude, he's one of the greatest dudes I've ever had the privilege to talk to. Super humble, one of the hardest working guys I've ever seen, and he's the nicest person ever. You know what I mean? And so meeting him and just kind of talking to him was a surreal moment for me, and just to see how good of a guy he is off the field too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I hope good things keep coming with you and keep killing it out there.
Thank you, bro. I mean, hopefully sooner than later we'll have you as a guest on there.
Oh.
Double Take Dave, baby.
Hey, that'll be awesome. I'll be honored. Okay, let's talk some NBA playoffs. We love some NBA. It starts tomorrow. Obviously, it's not like your ordinary NBA playoffs because it's all in the bubble. But let's talk some series really quick. Let's start with the Lakers and Blazers. Do you think Blazers will win that series? What's your opinion on that?
You did text me, and I think that you might have a feeling the Blazers might shock the world here, but I love the Lakers. I know LeBron's not going to go out in the first round. It's just not going to happen. But, I mean, Dame Lillard in Portland is hot right now. And I really do question, do the Lakers have enough power? Outside of AD and LeBron, someone's got to step up. You know what I mean? And I don't know if they have that guy. Kuzma's hit or miss.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
So I actually am the Lakers on my episode too. I guaranteed that the Lakers would win. I just think LeBron, after the Jordan documentary, he's that type of guy. If he loses to the Blazers, his legacy is ruined. Not ruined, but he won't ever be considered even the greatest if you lose against the 8 seed team. It's just not going to happen. And right now he's averaging 10 assists a game, which is nice, but him and AD are just going to take over. And Blazers defense is very, very bad. People don't realize that. They've been in close games against bad teams.
Right.
And I know Lakers is definitely a worry how they play in the bubble, but don't worry. They'll take it up a whole another notch. So I just don't see it happening.
I think the biggest thing for Portland is I don't think they have an answer for Anthony Davis. They don't have a guy that's going to be able to lock him down. Damian Lillard's great offensively, but he's got like the worst defensive efficiency in the league.
Yeah.
So like you said, people don't realize that Portland can't play defense, especially with Melo. I mean, if you watch Melo, the guy just lets whoever blow by him.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm taking the Lakers.
Yeah, I am there too. I obviously saw your regular 1-8 matchup, but yeah, I don't see it. Do you see any upsets in the first round? There's the OKC Rockets, there's Heat 5 versus 4 Pacers, Boston 3, Philly 6.
Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest, I love OKC, dude.
Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah.
I think that Chris Paul should be in the conversation for MVP. I don't think he is the MVP, but he's
oh yeah.
Best. And I think the Miami Heat are a team to look out for in the East.
Yeah, I'm excited for that Warren and Butler matchup. Get your popcorn ready.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, TJ Warren's been having a monster bubble appearance here. But, I mean, Jimmy Butler is just – I love Jimmy Butler, dude. Yeah. I think he's just a team guy. He's got his teammates' backs. He's a leader.
Yeah.
So
it's very easy to respect guys like Butler and Lillard because they're the closest thing to that Kobe and MJ mentality, They don't, fuck everybody else, It just they're not here to make friends. They're it's about their team and winning. They don't care about anything else. And then we got.
I mean, it goes back. Yo, go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Yeah, I was just gonna talk about the Nuggets and Jazz, but you could finish up what you were saying.
I was just gonna say it goes back to watching Paul George and Patrick Beverley come out and you piss off a guy like Dame Lillard, you ignite the fire, and it's like this dude, Dame Lillard, in my opinion, has been the most underrated player in the NBA for years now.
Oh.
If I have any guy taking the last shot, he's the guy I'm choosing.
Facts.
And I think that for Dame to come out and say, hey, call out Paul George and say, hey, dude, I don't need, all-stars on my team to win a series.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's the old school mentality basketball that I love. And so last thing I'll say, but I love Dame Lillard and, I respect the hell out of him. So
yeah. And I think we both think the Nuggets going to beat the Jazz. I don't know if you saw, but Mike Conley is going to miss at least the first 2 games. His baby was born. So he left today.
Oh, what?
Yeah, just found that out. So that is huge news because obviously they don't have Bogdanovic, but that's our veteran point guard. I mean, that changes everything. So I had them in 6. I think we'll win in 5. And the reemergence of Michael Porter. I mean, if he could continue this, I don't think we'll beat the Clippers but I like our future. It's very exciting to be a Nuggets fan. I keep telling people their expectations, obviously we want to win a championship now, but we're going to be good the next 3, 4, 5 years. There's nothing to really whatever happens, just know that you're going to be in the contention for a long time,
Yeah, I agree. I think right now especially, I think right now with I think it's honestly talent. I think coaching is going to
Aaron, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Little in and out, but we're okay. Yeah, keep going.
All right, but yeah, I was just saying, I think, Michael Porter needs to be in the starting lineup. We got to figure out ways to get creative with our team. We're so athletic. We're so deep.
Yeah.
I think we get past the Jazz. I think that for the Clippers, I'm going to have to text every chick I know in LA and just have them DM Paul George and Kawhi and try and infiltrate the bubble.
Yes.
So those guys have to leave or whatever because we have no chance of beating the Clippers.
Yes.
Please. So we're going to have to get creative, maybe set something up at Magic City, get Lou Williams back there.
For sure.
Get
some deals on those get those deals on those chicken wings. But yeah, tell Bob to get on that too, to start walking the streets and go to Dan Brazilian's house and get all those miles over there for sure. But really quick.
That's all it takes. I got to tell you, dude, everyone's been talking. Go ahead.
I was just say really quick, who's your finals prediction? But you could finish up.
I have to say, I think it's going to be Clippers Bucks.
Yeah, I had Lakers and Bucks, but I'm going to switch it to the Clippers and the Raptors. I really like the way Raptors are playing. They remind me of a Spurs team. They just
really
they move. I think Siakam's very, very underrated, and Lowry, who got a lot of shit before he won the finals, has really been consistent. And I'm just not sold on Milwaukee in 7 games against, like, I just don't. I think it's going to be close, and I think Toronto's experience will get them past them. That's kind of my bold prediction.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, the Raptors have been playing great. I don't think that they have enough. Like, you got Siakam and Van Fleet and Norman Powell, actually, who played at UCLA, played the Buffs. I watched him play there. He's great.
Yeah, he's
good.
But
they just don't have enough firepower. You can't depend on Kyle Lowry to go for 30 every night. You know what I mean? And they need it. They need that out of Kyle Lowry. So I don't think that they have enough. They are a physical team. I love their mentality, but when playoffs hit, it's like we haven't even seen the Clippers full strength yet.
Oh, I know.
The Bucks are going to be a different team when playoffs hit.
Oh, 100%.
I'm taking Bucks, Clippers. I think Clippers win it all.
Hey, we'll see. It's gonna. Yeah, they're just so deep. But hey, Aaron, thanks for joining me today.
They're so deep.
They don't have like a weakness. It's insane. But hey, Aaron, thanks for joining today. It was awesome talking to you, and good luck with everything. And I'll have you back on once football season starts, and we'll talk some football.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. Yo, if you have time, let's go to Orlando. I want to actually try these wings at this place because everyone's raving about them.
Oh,
have you been to Magic City?
I haven't, but I'm down to get those wings. I just need a big side of ranch, and we're in the go.
All right. Let's do it, and we'll talk football, all right?
Awesome, man. Have a good one. Thank you.
All right, double take. Thanks, bro.
Dave's right, you're wrong.
Welcome to Dave's Right, You're Wrong today. We're going to start off with showing you a small clip of Skip.
I'll give you this. For the first 46 and a half minutes, Damian Lillard was all-time sensational. But for the last minute and a half of that game, and I cannot tell a lie, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be objective, and I'm about to back it up. He was lucky and shaky and lucky. And can we start with 129 left? Because he shoots a 3, which he launches from 33 feet, which is basically from Cape Canaveral.
Yep.
And if we can see this, he launches it so far and so hard, it back irons so hard, it goes up 2 backboards high. I'm not going to call it quite as lucky as the Kawhi shot that ended Game 7 against Toronto last year. Remember that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I mean against Philly. From Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this. In all my years of covering basketball, dating back to the mid-1970s here for the LA Times, I have never seen a shot bound that high up off the rim and go through, because the margin for error as it plunges back to earth, it has to touch nothing, because if it touches any iron on either side, it's going to bound out because it's coming down so hard.
Correct.
Let's start with this. Damian Lillard is one of the best players in the NBA, period. No one's arguing that. He's been on a team that has been injury-riddled all year. When he got his horses back, along with his personal talents, his numbers don't lie. Look what he's done in the bubble, averaging 37.3 points, 9.6 assists a game, and shooting 43.6 from the three-point range. Like, come on. He's got my respect, and mostly everyone's respect besides Skip's, because of what he's done. He's carried this team into the playoffs. He has that Kobe and MJ mentality. And then PG3 said, they got kind of into it on Twitter, and it's like, PG3, why are you talking? You got like beat by Damian last year. Don't talk. He's a Batman and you're a Robin, PG3. And damn, did we all see the same thing, right? Like, come on, Skip, like saying stuff like, I'll give him a B+, or this was good. Like, you shouldn't criticize anyone who scores 61 points. Like, if you score 61 points and your team wins, there should be no argument. So stop acting like a grumpy old mule, Skip. He was criticizing for missing a 3 in the last 2 minutes of the game. Who cares? Did he still score 61 points and win the game? So why are you talking? You were praising Jordan for scoring the 60 in the playoffs against Boston and they lost. Like, come on. You score 60 points and you win? There shouldn't even be a segment. It should be all good about you. Damian's that type of guy. Like, he didn't want to join superstars. Everyone respects him because he's a dog. He stayed loyal to his team. So, Skip, stop acting like this or you're going to go get skipped. And one more thing, Skip. Go change your clocks to Dame time. Dave's right. You're wrong.
Dave's Breakdown.
let's talk about NFL windows. You guys know what that means? For the fans that don't know football like I do, this is for you. So this is how it works. You have teams in every division. For example, you have a great QB in Green Bay, a great QB in New Orleans, a great one in Kansas City, and pretty good QBs in Dallas and Philly. But you only have a certain amount of time to maximize their talent because of injuries or guys aging. So when you have to pay them the big money, it limits the amount of money for other players. The dream scenario is to maximize like the Pats did, getting 6 Super Bowls. But that's never going to happen again. Because if you're not winning the Super Bowl but winning a lot of games, you're punished by picking late in the draft in every round. And then in the meantime, the bottom feeders in your division are getting the best next great QB and are drafting low in the draft and getting the best talent that they have to offer. It's not true in every case if it's a well-run organization or that they know how to draft, because there's a bunch of teams that don't know how to. For example, in my division, the Chiefs have the team right now to win another 1 or 2 Super Bowls. They're not going to win 6, 7 like the Pats did, so get that out of your head. Too much has to go right. Teams like the Broncos are quietly building. And for the Chiefs, if they don't win another 1 or 2 Super Bowls in the next few years, their talent gets older and more injuries could happen and they don't have the money to sign certain players. In the meantime, teams like Denver, their talent is maturing and coming together in 3-4 years and they're ready to take down the bully. That's kind of how it works. And then teams like the Cowboys, why do you think they're loading up all on the D-line now? Because they know their Super Bowl window is short. And that's what they struggle with, is their D-line. And their O-line's getting older. So they're trying to make the moves now. But bottom line, in the NFL, it's changing every year. Every year it changes. One day you're here, and the next day, you're gone.
Dave's Denver Dose.
So the Avalanche are up 2-1 against the Phoenix Coyotes. They won the first 2 playoff games and lost on Saturday 4-2. I'm not worried. I didn't expect that to be a sweep anyways, but I think we'll take care of business in the next 2 games or in 6. We look young, we look hungry, and like I said, Avalanche have the best chance to win a Stanley Cup, to win a championship, and I think they will. But they got to get past the Phoenix Coyotes, and they will soon. Next, the Colorado Rockies. So last week I hyped up the Rockies, and this is what Rockies fans do to you. You know, they were 10-3 last week, and now they're 12-8. Probably in a month they'll be 20-40. That's just how the Rockies do it to you. They need bullpen. Their bullpen has been very, very bad, and you cannot win in this league if you have a bad bullpen. I hope we keep making trades and fix that quick before it's too late, because the Dodgers are rolling, and they're our daddy, you know. They just slap us around every year. Let's just hope one year we beat them. Denver Nuggets, the playoffs start tomorrow. Like I said, we play the Utah Jazz, and Mike Conley will not be playing in the first couple games. And no Gary or Barton, but Porter is rejuvenated and he's ready, and Joker and Jamal are ready to prove people wrong, that we're not just this, fluke team, that we're here for business. So let's beat the Utah Jazz tomorrow and finish the series pretty quickly. The Denver Broncos started training camp finally. You never want to read too much into training camp, but from what I've been reading, they say Jerry Jeudy's a man. Creep Jackson said you can't teach route running, and he hasn't seen that on any young receiver. He just gets open. Bryce Callahan looks healthy, which is amazing news because he's going to replace Chris Harris in the slot. So right now it's just about not being dumb and getting the virus and just staying healthy. And that's it for Denver Dose. Welcome to Double Take Dave, episode 3. Let's get this party started.
It's Double Take Dave. It's Double Take Dave. It's Double Take Dave.